What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. In this video, I want to share with you the attraction secrets that I've learned over 8+ years of going out and approaching thousands of women, studying attraction, studying how to pick up women, studying female and male social dynamics, and also going through a lot of trial and error as far as like tons of rejection, but also having some great successes and creating all of this. So this, the confidence that I have in this field or this niche, it comes from experience, like me really going out there. That's why I'm so passionate about this stuff, because I didn't sit around. Yes, I did study and read books and watch videos and stuff, but I went out and applied this stuff. So it's like, when I hear certain bullshit or someone tries to tell me certain stuff, my question to him is like, yo, did you go out and approach thousands of women to verify what you're saying is true? Or are you just, have a few experiences and you're basing your conclusions off of that? You know what I mean? So that's why no one could like say any bullshit to me, because I'm not going to listen, because I already put my blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff. So I already know what I'm talking about, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to share with you some things I've learned. So let's look at this. One thing we need to understand. Women are slaves to their emotions. And here's what I mean by that. Women don't care about you convincing them of something logically. They don't care about you trying to be super smart with them and super logical and shit like that. They don't care about that. They care about emotions. They care about how you make them feel. When you communicate to a woman, you literally need to think before you say anything. What feeling do I want her to feel? What emotion do I want her to feel? And if you make her feel the right emotions, she'll listen to you. If she's feeling the wrong emotion, no matter how much logic, no matter how smart you are, no matter how much, what you're saying makes sense, if the emotion she's feeling doesn't feel good, she will reject what you're saying. She will reject it, okay? So, for example, like if if a girl is not attracted to you, you can tell her anything you want. You could tell her, hey, I have, a billion-dollar home, this and that, whatever. But if she's not getting triggered emotionally, like if she doesn't feel you, or she doesn't feel like you're telling the truth, or she's not getting turned on or whatever, if the feeling is not there, she doesn't give a fuck, right? So if you're gonna say something, you need to ask yourself, okay, what emotion or what feeling is this gonna trigger in her? And you will understand what emotions are being triggered in her based on her actions. After you say something, pay attention. Pay attention to her body language. Pay attention to her response. Pay attention to her tonality. You know what I mean? Pay attention to what they do, the energy they give to you, not what they say. Right? Listen to what they say, but don't take what they say as like the end all be all. It's like that's part of it, right? What they say is part of it. Matter of fact, you also need to listen to what they don't say. Like, you really gotta become like a social scientist. If you really want to be a beast at this stuff, you gotta be a social scientist, man. And you gotta be a master at playing emotions. What do I mean? A master at creating emotions. Like, you can't just be moving around like speaking logically to women. It's gonna go through one ear and out through the other. It needs to hit her emotionally. That's why if I'm trying to, let's say I have a certain woman I want to get at and I'm targeting her, I'm not gonna communicate to her if it's not gonna hit the right emotion. Like, I'll think, okay, what emotion do I want her to feel? If I've never spoken to her before, I want her to feel interest. I want her to feel, this guy's interesting. I want him, right? So I look at the situation. If there's an opportunity for me to communicate to her in a way that will create interest, I will go for it. However, if it's not a situation where I'm going to be able to create interest, I'm not going to say anything, right? I might open her, I might say something to her, I might talk to her, I might feel out the vibes, but if it's not the type of vibes I want, I'm not going to push it. Guys will get in the interaction and they'll just keep pushing until they push their way out of the interaction. It's like, you got to be able to relax. That's why I talk about grounded masculinity, because when you're interacting with a woman, you can't be stuck in your head. You're stuck in your head, you're not going to be able to feel out the vibes, feel out the emotions of what you're saying, feel out the experience and really be present to the moment. You're stuck in your head. You're just gonna be logical as fuck. And she is not logical like that. She's emotional. So you can't be in your head trying to speak to her emotions. Like you need to be intelligent, yes, but you apply your intelligence to your emotional communication. So, for example, I used to be an intelligent guy in high school, middle school, but I wasn't getting no girls because I didn't apply my intelligence to my communication in a way that creates emotions, right? Like I didn't know this stuff, right? Like, wow, if only they would have taught this in school, right? If they taught this, yeah, but I see why they don't, right? Because then people would just be too powerful. That's my understanding of it, like. Because I'm like, yo, so many problems could have been solved if certain things were taught in school. And I'm like, yeah, but if it was taught in school, people would be so powerful. Like if every man knew this stuff, I don't know, it'd be crazy, to be honest. But even then, like, you can know this stuff, but there's a difference between knowing something and applying it. That's where the real power is. Like some guys, okay, they red pill this, whatever, they know certain stuff, but they don't know how to make it work. They don't know how to get the woman. So what happens? Some of these guys, they become what? MGTOW. They just stop going after women because they're like, okay, women are a certain type of way and we don't know how to get them, or we don't want to put in the effort to get them, or we don't want to become attractive enough to get them. So let's just give up. And I'm not the type, I was never the type of dude to give up, man. If anything, I will slay the dragon and then I'll retire. If I decide to retire, I'll retire after the dragon has been slayed. I'm not going to see the dragon and the dragon's powerful and I'm going to be like, oh shit, that's a powerful dragon, I'm out of here. No, that's not the vibe. That's not the energy. That's not a man. Okay? So that's one of them we need to look at is women are emotional. Okay? That's all they care about, the emotions, how they feel. And we're emotional too. We're just not as emotional as they are. Like that is their shit, man. Emotions, man. If you could feed a girl emotions, the right emotions, you have her. She will literally, you can't get rid of her if you feed her the right emotions. If you make her feel good, but not, it can't just be the same emotion all the time. She needs that. She needs the ups and downs. You need to piss her off a little bit, but then turn her on again, and then, you know, do something unpredictable. And like, she needs that, man. She needs those emotions. Like, that's what keeps her alive, keeps her going. And if you don't do that, she will find it somewhere else. That's when their focus starts going to other men, and you end up getting cheated on, stuff like that, because you stop giving her the emotions you were giving her in the beginning. So you don't want to stop. You actually want to get better at that in a relationship. When you're in a relationship with a woman, you actually want to get better at creating emotions, not worse. Not dudes get lazy and they stop doing that stuff. It's like, no. That's why it's like, you know, I talk so much about evolving and being the best version of yourself, because you gotta keep going. You don't stop. Like, as a man, you don't get complacent. Masculine energy, it keeps going. Masculine energy doesn't sit and just do nothing. It goes, it keeps creating, it keeps evolving, it keeps, you know what I mean, making shit happen. So let's look at this, man. If you want to be attractive to a woman, man, you got to learn how to create experiences for these women. A great book to read, if you want to understand like what I mean by this, is The Art of Seduction. Like, essentially, you want to create a fantasy for these women. Like, you got to show up different, man. You can't show up like every other guy. You can't show up trying to fit in the box like, okay, what do I say to get her? I got to be perfect. You can't show up walking on eggshells. You actually have to show up as a king. Like, you literally have to show up as a king who already has a concubine. Like, how would you act? Think about it. This is how you need to act with women. How would you act if you were a king who already had a concubine? He had access to all the women in the village, in the kingdom, and he's going around and he's looking to find which woman is qualified to be his queen. What if you literally, that was your vibe, like that was your frame? You would come off so much more attractive, because guess what? Now you're qualifying. She has to actually, you know, qualify to you because you are a king. It's a mindset. You know, some guys may say, oh, you know, why you got to go out and approach women? Like, that shit doesn't work. There's some truth to that. If you going up to women and approaching them like a slave, or approaching them like a pauper, or approaching them like a needy guy, desperate guy, yeah, it's a waste of time. It doesn't work. But if you approach a woman as a king, that's a whole different story, man. Like, even if you approach a guy as a king, like if a guy walked up to me and he had like a kingly presence about himself, like he carried himself like a king, he was like, hello, how you doing, Trey? Now, you know, he doesn't have to say it exactly like that, but I'm just trying to get the vibe, create that vibe. Like, he walks up to me like a man of respect. Like, I'm going to give him respect because he's walking up demanding respect, like his vibe. I'll be like, hey, what's up, man? And if he holds his frame, it's like, hey, you know, I just want to say what's up, man. How's it going? You know, I'd be like, oh, okay, what's good, man? Like, respect. But if he came up to me like, hey, man, how you doing? You know, I'd be like, yo, who are you, bro? What's your problem, you know? Like, there's a different way to approach, man. There's a different vibe. There's a different energy. So it's just understanding, like, the frame. When you talk to women, it's like the frame needs to be correct. And also, you got to think about it. A king, imagine how a king would respond to a woman if she rejected him. I could see a king either like, I'm talking about a powerful king, not like a insecure king. An insecure king would be like, hey, do you know who I am? I'm a king. No, not that kind of king. Like a king that knows his value, knows his power, right? So imagine he goes up to a woman and he's like, hey, you know, I actually thought you were quite attractive, and, you know, I wanted to see if you'd be interested in, I don't know, maybe grabbing some coffee or something. Maybe, who knows, maybe a smoothie, right? And then she says, oh, no, thank you, I have a boyfriend. He would just look at her like, a boyfriend? I'm a king. Like, are you, you know? He wouldn't say that, but that would just be like what he would be thinking. Like, is this girl retarded? Like, did she just say she has a boyfriend and she's not interested? Man, what a crazy lady. And he'd just move on, right? He wouldn't, this is what he'd be thinking, but he wouldn't say that, right? That would be corny for him to say that, but it's just the thought that would come up because his value. He knows his value. He's like her loss. Like, what a huge mistake for her to say, no, thank you, I have a boyfriend. Like, that's like literally, he's thinking like, yo, that's like somebody saying no to $1 million or saying no to winning the lottery. But that's how you have to think. Now rejection has no power over you. You actually think the person is stupid when they reject you, right? And you know, that there's different ways to look at it, but I'm just saying, imagine that way of looking at it versus, oh, I got rejected. Now I have no self-worth. Oh, now I have no value. Oh no, now I can't go to sleep tonight because I've been rejected. You know, that's two completely different vibes. Choose the one you want, and you practice this beingness, right? So I've been working on this for quite some time. So, you know, obviously I've developed it, and I understand it's not something that you can develop overnight, but it can be developed, and it can be developed quite quickly if you apply yourself on a consistent basis and you believe in this, right? It's really the belief is the most important part, because I'm already on the other side of the spectrum. So obviously my belief is already there, but you got to remember, I was on the other side of the spectrum too. Like, I was that guy that was shy. I was that guy that was a virgin, had never had a girlfriend, and never kissed a girl when he left high school. I was that guy. I was that guy that was around girls. I would start sweating. I would get shy. I wouldn't say anything. They would ask me, hey, Trey, why are you so quiet? You know, they would embarrass me in front of everyone. Like, that shit used to happen to me, okay? So when I went through this journey, the only thing I had was faith. And also, I kind of, you know, I had this mentality of, okay, it's like, I don't want to settle. Right? Like, I don't just want to stay this shy guy who doesn't get girls. Like, I got to do something about this. So I did something about it. You know what I mean? And I went through the process, and unknowingly I developed a lot of amazing qualities that I'm so glad that I went through that process, because now I'm a certain type of man that you can't fake, right? Like, there's certain qualities I've developed over that time that, you know, I'm always going to have. No one can take away from me. Because that's my blood, sweat, and tears, you know? So let me give you one more. Let's see. Here's an ability that is really attractive to women. And it's just a cool ass ability. Like, even like, you can respect this in a man. Like, Someone who can laugh at themselves. Like, I think this is like an extremely powerful thing because most people just can't do this. They take themselves too damn seriously. They're too stuck in an identity, and they're trying to be something that they're not. And if they can't be flexible. They can't be like water, like Bruce Lee says. They can't be shapeless, formless. Right? Like if you're so rigid and take yourself so seriously, you can only just be this one robot. And I'm telling you, like, no, like when it comes to women, you got to be able to be fluid. Not just with women, but like if you want to be a master at communication and being able to vibe with different people and get your point across and enjoy life, you got to be able to be fluid, man. You got to be able to make a mistake and laugh, bro. You know, you got to be able to not take yourself so seriously. Like you got to be able to be what's the word? Vulnerable. Like women get turned on when a man is vulnerable, bro. That's part of being grounded in your masculinity, because basically the only way you know, from what I found, or what are the ways to be vulnerable, is you got to just not care anymore. You got to be like, man, I don't care if you judge me, man. Because you judging me, like, who are you to judge me? You're not perfect, right? You're not freaking the Buddha. You're not God. You're not, you know what I mean? So you're judging me, like, go ahead and judge me. Who gives a shit? You know, I'm still going to do what I'm going to do. It's my life. It's my expression. It's my soul. I'm going to live my life to the fullest. Okay? Amor fati. It's my fate. I love my fate. I love my life. There's nothing that I you know, when things happen, I'm not saying, oh, why did that happen? I'm like, I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to have an opportunity to experience life. Let me see if I can somehow see the positive in this. Let me see how powerful I am. Let me see how powerful my ability to reframe is. Right? How can I reframe this and see it in a positive light versus a negative light, right? That's the beast, man. That's the beast. The beast is, he's just done being like a weak little human, you know, that's just super emotional and gets triggered easily and breaks down easily and makes excuses and is complaining and shit like that. I just got done with that, man. I created a new character, a new version of Trey. I destroyed the old Trey. The old Trey was shy. The old Trey was, you know, was not assertive. The old Trey was actually lacking in masculinity, to be honest. You know, I was very passive, okay? And here's one of the things I did, though, and one of the things that I'm glad I did. So, me being this shy guy, you know, when you go through certain experiences in life, you got to pay attention to see there's actually some benefits there. You just have to look for them. One of the qualities I developed is this ability to listen. I don't need to talk. By being a shy guy, I learned that there's actually some benefit to that, in the sense of people like to be listened to. Like, people like when you listen to them, okay? Women like when you listen to them. So I have developed this ability to not only be assertive, be a masculine man, be a beast when it's time, right? But I can also sit back and just listen to somebody and not react, right? I can put my beliefs aside, my whatever aside, and just listen to the person and really try to understand them. This is another quality you want to work on. It's very powerful. And not just listen to them, but like pay attention to the sub-communication, man. I pay attention to how they move their body when they talk, the tonality in their voice, when it slows down and when it speeds up, you know, the highs and lows of their voice, when it cracks a little bit. Like, these little details is what gives you so much understanding and so much power when you're communicating to someone, so you can respond in a way that's, you know, more calibrated and more aligned, and it creates a nice flow. This is how you can have a very nice flowing conversation with people. So this is a quality, you know, instead of me saying, oh, I was a shy guy, blah, 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 and just being completely negative about that, I also see the benefits of it. Like, I developed a skill that a lot of people, you know, would benefit from. Like, this ability to just be able to listen and just shut up for a second. Like, I can do that, no problem. Okay, but I got both sides. So I developed both sides, right? Like, some people, they just accept, oh, I'm the introverted guy, or oh, I'm an extroverted guy. No, I'm introverted and extroverted. Okay, I can be both. I can be introverted. I could be chill, relax, and not say shit. I can be the guy that steps up and gets loud and parties and does all this shit, right? I'm not stuck in a box. I'm not just a, whatever, in some box that people created for me. No, I am a spiritual being that expresses himself, and I know that the body is a vehicle. I know that I'm not my emotions. I know that I'm not my mind. I'm not my thoughts. I'm the one experiencing these things, which means I have the power to create. I have the power to move around. I have the power to adapt. I have the power to be a chameleon. I can shift into different characters. I can be aggressive. I can be chill. I can be relaxed. I can be whatever, And that's what makes you sexy, man. When a woman can't figure you out, man. You're unpredictable. She can't put you in a box. You're irreplaceable. When these women are measuring us up to all the other men, so you can't, if you show up like other men, where she's like, oh, he's just one of those kind of guys, or he's just one of those. No, you want to show up where she's like, man, there's just something about him, right? She can't even verbalize what it is because it's just such an interesting combination of qualities. So anyway, if you like this shit, man, go ahead, apply this shit in your life. If you want to become a sexy beast, if you like to work together one-on-one, where I actually help you one-on-one become a sexy beast, man. I help you put yourself through a similar process I went through. It's more fine-tuned now, where I show you how to build up this grounded masculinity, man, how to become more expressive authentically, how to be more of a leader, and how to become the best, most attractive version of yourself so you can create the dating life of your dreams. Literally, you get control, right? You're no longer like hoping or waiting for some shit to happen. You can literally go and start creating and designing your dating life. And this confidence that you develop through going through this process, and it's only 8 weeks. It's us working together for 8 weeks. I guarantee at the end of 8 weeks, you're going to be a beast, man. You're going to feel so much more powerful, so much more confident. You're not going to give a fuck about fear of rejection and fear of this and fear of that. All that shit, you're done. You're going to be done with that, right? Because I'm going to put you through a process, but I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to have your back. I'm going to hold you accountable. I'm going to guide you in the right direction. I'm going to give you the advice, everything you need to become a sexy beast. All right? It's an 8-week program. It's one-on-one. We're jumping on calls every week. I'm, there for you. You can hit me up throughout the days or whatever. I'll respond to your questions, stuff like that. And it's an 8-week program, and it's only $997. All right, so basically $1,000. Okay, but you're changing your life here, man. How much is that worth to you to change your life, to become a sexy beast, to handle your dating life, to develop unbreakable confidence? To me, there's no price on that. Okay, so when I say $997, to me that's like nothing. All right, but it's 8-week program. So if you're interested, hit me up. I'll give you more details. Thanks for watching. Peace.